Hello, everybody. Waited to Win welcomes you again, and the VODACOM Durban July has come and gone. Pierre Striker Stradon was our guest last weekend, and we have got the winning jockey, as you well know by now, as our guest for the VODACOM Durban July. So to Gavin Lerena from DARYL, MAREE and DARYN BURROUGHS. Gavin, very proud of you. What a moment. The whole South African, the country behind you from a racing perspective, supporting what turned out to be a fantastic win.
Thank you very much, Mr. BASEL. It's been a dream come true, and you know, still living the moment. It's only starting to hit home now, and just want to thank everybody for their support and all their beautiful wishes.
I know that, please, and I'm not Mr. BASEL, so whatever you do, I'm CLYDE when we go on. Comin should do rather, yeah. Gav, I just to say that, I mean, the moment of winning, the thought of winning the moment, the VODACOM Durban July, that whole imaginary process that you go through is nerve-wracking and at the same time is very exciting. But as you just said, to have actually won it, and now you've got the trophy, inverted commas, and you know, you've got the victory behind you. It's just it's almost surreal, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, since I was a kid, it's one race I've always wanted to win, and you know, just for it to all come together and the process of it all coming together and how it happened was amazing.
Daryl and Darren, thank you for joining the show as well. I know you guys, in terms of your assessment, it's not to say that Comin wasn't given a chance. We gave him a chance in terms of the way he was working, the way he looks. Darren, I'll come to you first. The way he moves. I believe that there were a few that quietly fancied Comin.
Yes, for sure. You know, the horses only had 6 starts prior to the July, and he had a good prep going into the race, so everything fell into place for him. My concern was the wide draw of 18 and getting caught 3 deep. But getting caught 3 deep at Greyville is not like on a testing track like Kenilworth or Turffontein, where you can't race wide. Comin was caught slightly wide, but it wasn't a problem. And he maneuvered from 3rd last in the beginning part of the race to turning into the straight only 4 lengths off him. So I think the draw could have actually been in his favor, and he won a cracking race.
I mean, Daryl, how did you see it during running?
Yeah, Clyde, obviously he was placed towards the back of the field, and then it just panned out for him that he was caught 3 wide in a brilliant maneuver by Gav to not exert any energy. He just slowly crept up, and he got into a striking position, turning for home, kept in some of his big, it just fell into place perfectly, well executed, right? I just want to ask Gav, he was caught wide in the July. Now, in the Golden Slipper, he jumped out and he was caught wide on the favorite Desert Miracle. I want to know how long into the race did he actually realize this was in his favor, because if she was stuck behind a few in that sort of quality of a field, it might have hindered her stride, and I thought it actually also paid out in his favor.
Yeah, Daryl, the Golden Slipper, you know, I'd gone a furlong, and I was saying I was quite upset that I didn't get in, but I didn't get in because they eased the pacer, and by the 1100 I was smiling. The race was working out perfectly for me. Everybody was concentrating, and their horses were pulling and not able to use their strides. I had a beautiful run 3 deep. My filly was in a good rhythm. She was moving well. And the more they eased, I was just getting there with comfort and with ease. I didn't use any energy to almost get to the front before I hit home. And, you know, she did win very well, and she is a good filly, but I think that did help her win easier. And then the July was actually by design. I didn't want to get bumped around. When I walked the track the week before, I visioned myself being 3 deep, and I didn't want horses around me. It's a very immature horse. He had only had the 6 starts. I just needed cover, and I wasn't worried about being 3 deep at all. If Sovereign Spirit, because I thought I'd be following Dura going 3 deep. That's the way I read the race. Richard got quite lucky that he got 1 off, or maybe it was unlucky in hindsight. But if Sovereign Spirit had gotten in, then I would have had to take a sit probably behind the green light. But with him not getting in, and he was about 4 lengths ahead of me, you know, my horse had the cover, he spat the bridle out, and I was able to just freewheel around the track, and I burnt no energy whatsoever. And that's why I was able to make that move at the 800.
Gavin, a lot of people, and I'm going to show some people some of your history as far as your life is concerned. And a lot of people don't know how it started for you, you know, at the end of the day. And that's what I'd like to do here, is show everybody, you know, where you started out. Because this show jumping photograph sent to me, of course, through your agent, George, at the end of the day, does show ultimately where you started. And one must recall that moment. You know, you went to the academy, and if I recall correctly, you were turned down at your first attempt.
Yeah, I was turned down probably 4 times. And I ended up going to the academy as an equestrian. And when I arrived when my parents were leaving the academy that weekend, I said to them, and I said to Uncle George, funny enough, don't you worry, I'm going to become a jockey. And, you know, thank goodness for Patrick Salvage, when he took over being headmaster at the academy. That's the reason why I got my opportunity. If it wasn't for him, you know, I probably would have had to go knock down other doors. But because of Patrick Salvage, I was given the opportunity to ride for a year or 2 until I got too heavy. And, you know, thank goodness I'm still riding. And
when you got too heavy, you came back home, and did you go back to jumping and then go back to the academy? What happened?
No. So they gave me the opportunity to race ride until I got too heavy. So they were letting me live my dream. Right. But when I got too heavy, then I was going to have to call it a day.
But thank God that never happened, obviously.
Thank God that never happened. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Here's a moment. Here's what changed your life. This was sent to me by George. I think Michelle put this up on Facebook. Look at this beautiful animal. Look at him. I mean, that's what changed your life, Gav. Look how beautiful this horse is. I want to. Can I play it again for you? Just look at it.
He's such a character.
He knows exactly. He knows he's on camera.
100%. You know, he's got such a good temperament, this horse, and he's a colt.
Yes.
And but he's got so much character. When you sit on him, the character that feeds off him, and he's so intelligent. And I promise you, he's going to be a better 4-year-old.
Really, Gavin? That's amazing.
Gav, what are your feelings about the Queen's Plate, the mile trip? What obviously that will be on the short side of his range, but do you think he's got the quality to win a race like the Queen's Plate?
Yeah, well, if you ask Richard Ferree, he believes he's a miler, so he did well to win the July.
Okay. He did really well. He did very, very well to win the July. Gavin, so you'll talk, and Daryl's right, we'll talk about his Cape season as to what you think will happen there. Here's a moment that I want to share with you, if I can. One of your gallops, thanks to SA Horse Racing for this, this is where I think you made up your mind, you know what, we can win the July. When you galloped him.
Yeah, so I went to gallop him probably about it was about 4 weeks before the July. And no, it was 3 weeks before the July. I'd been on diet for a week.
Yes.
And I went down to Durban, and I galloped him. I think it was a Tuesday morning. There's no racing in Joburg. And the feel that this horse gave me that morning just turned my whole mind around. And I got home to Vicky and I said, Vix, this is a serious racehorse. we're going to do it, let's do it. And from then onwards, the journey of the diet and everything became so much easier because of that feel that this horse had given me.
So when you were walking, here's the image of you walking the track, and you said it was about a week before the July. So there you are, and you're actually walking exactly where Comin did. So you walked the race. I would imagine you walked it from the jump, and you walked out. You walked it that you're 3 wide or 4 wide, and how you're going to go. So at this stage now, were you down to 53 already, or were you 54? Or where were you at this point in time in your weight?
So that day, I flew down with Lawrence Werners and Johan for Copper Mountain. Went for a little breakfast that morning. I had salmon and poached eggs and a cup of coffee. Lovely. And I got to race, I was 54.4.
A week before?
And a week before, 54.4. Yeah. And Lal Jurtsen stood next to me. He almost fell over. His eyes were popping out of his head. He couldn't believe that I was already in that space. Yeah. But
to lose 1.5 kilos in a week of somebody like you, if I may just say, it's hard. You've got no fat to lose, with all due respect. All of yours is body muscle. You know what I mean? It's muscle, it's heavy. It's not fat, as in easy to lose. So that, what Vicky did with you, there was a miracle. To get down to the 53. If somebody's got no weight to lose, with all due respect, how you did it was incredible.
So Vicky was truly amazing in this journey. And, you know, the last 10 days, I had no fat to lose and I had to start cutting muscle. Are you okay?
No, my battery's dying and I can't find the charger.
I'll got that just and grab mine.
No, but my charger's in, but it's not working.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so are we coming under pressure there, Darren?
Yes. Yeah, I think if I do get cut off, you can just carry on without me.
Okay. Talking about charges, do you want me to send you one? All right, well, let's hope not. Okay, well, so you walked the track, you got another 1.5 kilos to lose the weight, and that, as we were saying, that was an incredible mission to do. So well done on that, Gavin. And then, of course, race time comes. You run your race, hit the front when you turn for home, held them at bay. I took a snapshot of what we saw, thanks very much, and how they finished. And I mean, four top horses finishing in the race. But there's the moment of glory that you'll never forget.
Never forget it. It's still can't believe it. Can't believe it.
I mean, thanks to Candice, I think that's from her photograph with. I mean, there's the image where you've now realised you've won it. And if I think about the group photograph, well done to all of them, to Harold, to everybody who's involved there, Michelle, the representation from VODACOM, Babu as well. There's, of course, there you are holding the trophy, and to Luvo as well, the winning groom. I mean, he must have been extremely, extremely excited. And this is your Wimbledon moment, is it not? There it is.
That's it. But you know, it's like you said, it's a whole team effort. Luvo loves his horse. Michelle prepped him so brilliantly, and she was masterful behind it. To Billy Jacobson, who put so much work into the horse when I wasn't able to be there. So it's a team effort. To Mr. Crawford, you know, just fantastic for him. He's been training for almost 4 decades, and it's just a dream come true for all. And to Ashton Reynolds, what a great guy.
Yeah, that is superb. So that's for those who don't know, there's Mr. Crawford there. Harold been around. That's representation from executive from Vodacom. Of course, Michelle did a fantastic job. Babu from Gold Circle representation, and Gavin referring, of course, to Luvo Zingilwayo, who did a fantastic job. And how's this guy, Gavin? I mean, here's a guy, and he tells you straight out. You know, he come from the Cape Flats. He explained the CLYDE story. I was fortunate enough to meet with him and have dinner with him a couple of years ago, etc. And what a gentleman! And he told you, you heard him say, CLYDE things forbidden, and you can't. I thought comitting means bring, you know, what does it mean in English? Bring it here, or bring that thing. What, you know, what's comitting? Meantime, he said his father it would have been forbidden in the flats, because it's a challenge to say you want to have a go. Okay, comitting, that sort of thing. So it was and the name is so catchy. I mean, that name, wherever you go, wherever this horse goes, people are going to, that name was brilliant.
Yeah, you know, wherever I've been to my physios, and I went, the one lady that helps me out, they just love this name, comitting, and every time I speak to them, it's comitting, it's amazing. And
people ask you,
following this horse now.
We had a couple of phone calls. What do you like? And believe it or not, I said, I thought I got the green light, and so did some of the guys. And I said, Komiti Ding, has got a chance, because I tipped it in our top 4. I said, I like him. And they said, oh, the Afrikaans horse. So that's how they refer to him. So, but Ashwin Reynolds, who I'm sure will be watching, we're really excited for him. We watched his video when they were where they were in their lounge, and how their family exploded. I can imagine the same as your wonderful family doing the same. So what a moment. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
There's so many fronts that you can be proud of in terms of ticking the boxes in this achievement. But the tipsters, DARYN and DARRYL, are eager to talk about racing tomorrow at Turffontein. We'll be racing on the stand side track. And Gavin's got some very nice rides as well. We'll talk to him about those. Those are the scratchings for the Turffontein card at this point in time. We can just give you an idea of the weather. It's pretty cold, I believe it. You know what, they're telling me it's going to snow in Joburg next week, believe it or not. So it's going to be very cold next week. But that aside, that's the most important thing to look for. There's an 8.5 meter spur when they come at the 700. And it's a hard track. We know with the going what it's about now. It's hard and it's fast. So that's the latest. Gavin, whilst we stay on there, I just want to ask you, if I may, let's just, because you got your card rides, I want to ask you about this horse, Clafuti, in the first race. Do you give her any sort of chance?
She put up a nice gallop on Tuesday morning. She's an improving filly. She's going to improve off this first start. But she's still going to mature quite a lot. I wouldn't leave her out of anything, because she is quality. She feels like she's got a lot of ability. She's going to improve and get better.
Okay, and your ride, because we normally start with the 4th race. That's why I'm just asking you. Your ride in the 3rd, that also Touched by Stars. I see there are a couple of winners that come out of his last run. Can he run another forward race? Better improved?
Yeah, you know, he's been rested for a while. I don't know how I got on him, but I hope I'm on at the right time for Mr. Warren. You know, he was a very immature horse when I rode him back then. He raced the wrong way, and you know, Mr. Warren's quietly confident that he's improved and he's doing well at home. So I'm hoping for a nice forward run, and you know, if I don't win it, I hope I'm in the money for Mr. Warren. Okay.
Well, now let me bring the team in here as well, so we can see what's going on. But here's the market as far as the betting is concerned on race 4, where number 8 Warship is 7 to 10, and number 7, remember, when the horse, the filly that you're riding, Gavin, is at 22 to 10, 5 to 1 about number 5 French Joy, and 10 to 1 and better the others. So if I may ask you about it first time, we don't normally, but since you're on the show and you do ride a lot for your hunt, we don't find this a very strong field. So just is it impossible for a member to win, or would you be surprised or not surprised at all?
You know, she's a nice filly. She's definitely going to be one for the future. We haven't done a hell of a lot with her at home, but she's got the class. You know, if Warship fluffs her lines, she's got the class to pull through and maybe win it. But you know, healthy respect for Warship. But my filly will be running on. She's going to be a nice filly for the future.
Okay, so from a pick 6 point of view, DARYN, if I come to you first, DARYN, I mean, from a pick 6 perspective, we kind of got it covered, haven't we? If Gavin happens to win it and the horses you guys like happen to run second.
Yes, for sure. You know, Warship does hold the strongest form in the race, but then again, that form line behind Winter Renegade wasn't franked yesterday at the Vaal. There was a 3 to 10 shot that ran unplaced out of that form line. So we have chosen to go 5, 7, and 8 in the pick 6. And then touching on, remember when the Dam Tracy's Legacy, if you go back to the second Grand Dam, you'll remember that filly Tracy's Element.
Yes.
That won the Star Sprint, the Bloodline Sprint, computer form sprint, yes. And the SA Sprint. So there is speed in the family and a lovely pedigree. So I wouldn't be surprised if she does win. And if she does win and Warship gets run out of second place by French Joy, who has an outside chance, then the pick 6 is much better.
Okay. Daryl, what's your take on the opening leg of the pick 6?
Sorry, Clyde, I just want to go back to the first race. I see Gavin's riding at 55. I just want to know, does he have any intentions of riding lighter going forward or not necessarily?
Yeah, so I'm around 54 at the moment.
Okay.
And I'm trying to keep it there. It's you know, Sunday and Monday, I won't lie, I had a full go and I was in the cupboard most of the day. But I've reeled myself in and I'm going to try to keep it around 54 and a half, maybe 55, but I'm going to try to keep it around 54 and a half. You know, I've worked so hard to get it off, to just go and slap it back on would be a sin.
Okay, I see she is a full sister to Bayberry, who goes 2 miles. So I think she's a filly to watch when she gets over ground. Now back to the third race, I see Mark de Kock's Never Know Away. Have you ever sat on him? Did you have the choice of rides?
So funny enough, I took the ride on Never Know Away. And then at Scratchings, Brett Warren put me on the horse I'm on.
Okay.
And I messaged Mr. de Kock, I think it was about 11 o'clock, and I said, I'm available for yours. I didn't take the other ride. And he said, he's already put Kamala on. So I said, let's just leave it. It's what it is.
Okay. And then in this fourth race, French Joy, now I thought she was very, very disappointing last time out. She had nothing to come. She was making no impression over the final furlong. Can you compare her with your first timer, or is it, or does the first timer have more ability?
Look, I'd say the first time has definitely got more ability than her. She's not ready, but she's good enough to come through in a race like this. She hasn't been tested at home. French Joy last time out, she jumped so quickly. I was probably half a length clear of the field when I jumped, and she caught her back foot, and she took she knocked herself quite badly behind, and she lost her back legs, and that's how she ended up towards the back. But she made no impression. She never finished the race with me. I think she's going to battle to win a race. Let me put it that way. And I think, I don't know if 1160. I don't know. Not for me, to be honest.
I just want to touch on the favourite card, Warship. Now, Darren said the form wasn't frank, but you have to take note that odds on that was beaten yesterday at the Vaal actually choked up. So she's better than that effort. If you look at Warship's debut run, she ran second beyond Cold Fat. Cold Fat came out and ran second in a handicap. And then the fourth horse, who was like 4 lengths behind her, was Franco, who's come out to win on that debut effort. Last time out, she was a little bit tight, I think, and she was finishing her race off well. I think she'll appreciate the extra ground. So certainly with racing experience under her belt, and the stables come to form. 3 winners from their last 4 runners. So definitely the horse to beat of the race runners, but we're happy to back up with the first time.
Okay. All right, so we'll watch out for that. Trifecta's Quartet, I just want to mention this horse, Amalfi Coast, also from Paul Peters' stable. That horse Smelting came out yesterday around second. And I just think she's the type of filly that could run a place in this sort of field. So for places, I like the 2 Amalfi Coast. Okay, so I think we understand where we are now as far as the 4th race is concerned. We kind of know how to play that through Gavin's sharing that information. Good questions, Daryl. Race 5, let's go there, where number 5, Quite a Trip, is the 15 to 20 favourite. 3, Captain Hindsight, is at 7-2. Number 4, Sing for Nico, 7-2, and 1 Garden Party, 8-1, 12-1, and better about the others. So I'll start now with Gavin again, and the reason for that is because he's on the odds-on favourite for the yard for Paul Peter's table. Gavin, I mean, you've been part of him before. You know what he's all about. Assessing the field. What's your take on it?
Yeah, so he got a 3 kilo penalty for his last one, but it's just, I can say, quite a kind penalty, because Anna Capri and I think it was Rapid Fire in the race were basically rated 100. So he wasn't a well-weighted horse in the race, and he still managed to win a good one.
Right.
So I think he could still be under the handicapper's radar. 57 kilos on his back. He loves 1,000 meters. I think he's the horse to beat.
Okay. Daryl, what's your take?
Yeah, Clyde, this is what you call a penalty kick. Gavin touched on it. He only got 3 kilograms for his last one. And the reason being is it was a plated race. Right. So the maximum penalty is 6 pounds. 6 pounds. He actually ran to 103 on that occasion. If you look at his penultimate start beyond Al Sakit, he ran well above his rating as well. So he's confirmed to be well ahead of the handicapper. He ran to 103. He's offered 91.
So he should be carrying extra stable. Is what you're saying?
Sorry,
he should be carrying 63.
Yeah, Clyde, he's 6 kilograms well in over here.
Yeah, now on the basis of you saying he should have run to 103, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And now he's got a stable companion in the race. That's Garden Party. He's going to be off like a dirty shirt. So Quite a Trip's got something to aim at. And even through collateral form, Clark, Captain Hindsight has met Al Sakit also at level weights. And he was thumped by 5.5 lengths. Quite a Trip has met Al Sakit at level weights, and he was beaten by 2.25 lengths. So on a line through Al Sakit, Quite a Trip's got the beating of Captain Hindsight by 3.25 lengths.
Okay.
So he's seriously, on paper, he's a penalty kick. I think he'll be proved very, very hard to beat. And then Vizzy weighs 1 for the places. You know, he's only 1 over 6 furlongs, so I expect him to be running on. But for me, I have to be with the well-weighted Quite a Trip over here. He's the best bet on the card.
Okay. And DARYN, what's his biggest danger in your opinion? Quite a Trip. What's the biggest danger?
Would be Captain Hindsight for me.
Okay.
Captain Hindsight's proven himself at this level. He's a 1,000-meter specialist. Last time out, they were stretching him a little over the 1,200. Still ran a good race behind Royal Wolf. He's run 2.5 lengths off Battle Force over the 1160 previously. So I do make Captain Hindsight the main danger, and the Ashley Fortune stable are in hot form at the moment. Quite a Trip. He's progressive. I know after his gelding, he came back and ran a 3rd to Ace of Spades, and then only beat Lagertha 1.5 lengths. But he's really improved since then. And with natural improvement, once again, I do believe he's the horse to beat. I have included both in the pick, 6, 3, and 5, just to be safe. But for guys playing doubles and trebles, Quite a Trip is a confident selection.
Okay. Gavin, your take, just about, I want to go back. I know you said he's the horse to beat. Are you worried about Captain Hindsight, Gavin, at all?
Look, the Ashley Fortune yard is in form. He's got good form. The horse is in good form, but I just think they got to beat me tomorrow. Brilliant.
Race 6 on the card. Let's go there. Victoria Page is the 18-10 favourite. Rio's Winters 33-10, together with a 4 Wiley Wench, who's at 33-10, and 3 Kayla's Champ is at 5-1. Let me start with DARYN. I like the KO Coco form line. I mean, when I look at it, I think there are a couple that have come out of there, and one in particular is that is Lerena, who, if you recall, or most will, because she knocked everybody out of the pick 6 on July Day, came out of that form line as well, if I've got my facts correct. So I wonder if, Darren, if a horse like Rio's Winter is not the filly to beat here.
I believe Rio's Winter is the horse to beat here. You know, she's proven herself at group level, and I think she's just got that touch of class about her against a field of this nature. Victoria Page, probably her biggest threat. I think they met early on in their career over a mile on the stand-side track, and they ran close together, and they are the two class horses in the race. Of the rest, Wiley Wench, I think she only just gets a mile, but on the stand-side track is more of a testing mile. So not for me today, but for me, Rio's Winter to beat Victoria Page and anything else for third.
Okay, Daryl, your summary of the 6th?
Yeah, Clyde, this is a pinnacle, and the conditions favour Wiley Wrench and Kayla's Champ. Those are the top 2. But like Darren says, Wiley Wrench possibly better on the shorter running. So she's got the stamina doubts on the testing mile at Turffontein Sandside track. But in her favour, yeah, Clyde, there doesn't seem to be any pace in the race. That's my personal opinion. I think she's going to get it very, very easy up front. I don't see much challenge in her up front. I don't think Victoria Page is the one that's going to be pressing her early. I don't think Rio's Winter, Kayla's Champ, Cordillera, or Rouge Lure. So she might get handed this race on a plateau up front. She's certainly got ability. But there's question marks over the entire field. Victoria Page has been backed up 11 days later after a 7-month layoff. Albeit that was a cracking comeback run. We saw Portico Frank that form, he came out to run second again. But the question mark is the second run after layoff. Rio's Winter, I'd like to get Gavin's opinion, because she's never won over a mile. She's 0 from 5. But if they go very slow, it could play into her hands. She could certainly quicken better than a lot of these over here. Kayla's Champ is 0 from 17 on the stand-side track. Maybe she's better at the Vaal. I'm not too sure. But the horse I'm leaning towards over here is Cordillera, because I see them going very slow. And Cordillera, I know she's held by several on the inside track run, but she's better on the stand-side track. If they do go a slow pace, she's able to quicken, and I think she may be the one to beat over here. But it's a wide open race. I even respect Rouge Allure, who's back over the course in distance with Gavin up. For me, it's a field race. I'm concerned.
Okay, Gav, well, let's bring you in. What's your opinion on Rio's Winter in the mile? Because you have ridden her before.
Yeah, so look, she went down a short head to Summer Pudding over a mile. Pierre rode the perfect race that day, and she didn't get it. I always think a mile, and I've said to Mr. Moffat before, a mile is just on the outside track is just too much for her. But now we are in winter. The going is quicker. Like Darren says, there's going to be no pace in the race. But I also think it's a wide open race. I wouldn't leave Rouge Allure out.
Okay.
You know, he's as honest as a day. And who knows, if I manage to get to the front and have things my own way, I think I'd also be in with a chance.
Okay, well, there's a bit of 6-1 there. So it might be value. That's nice to hear the confidence. Rouge Allure from Gavin Lerena. Right, the 7th race, let's go there. This is the Wisteria Walk favourite at 5-2. It's another pinnacle over the mile. 1 puts on the Raider 7-2, 4 Orpheus 4-1, 7 Kingsley Hart 9-2, Asterix 11-2 to quote the field, 3 Green A 7-1, and 7 Patriots is at 8-1. Gavin's got the ride on Asterix, but again, I'm looking at the Coco form with the Zarina form line, and I thought Wisteria Walk, Gavin, would be the horse to beat in this race. I don't know what your take is on it.
Yeah, I do think she is the horse to beat. She gets a 3 kilo fillies allowance, which really helps. I do think she is the horse to beat. I think Asterix, on his penultimate form, that run to Petra Manzano is a great run. And the one before that, you know, that 4th to Express from the US, those are 2 real good runs. I don't know what happened last time, but if he can produce that Petra Manzano run, I think he'd be in with a chance, but I think the filly is also to beat.
Filly the one to beat. Okay, Darren, let me bring you in. How do you read the 7th race? What's your take?
Well, it's a smallish field, but I do see a lot of pace here. You got Orpheus, you got 7 Patriots, you got Wisteria Walk that likes to go. So the pace is going to be genuine. And I was just worried about Wisteria Walk over the mile with such a strong pace on up front. They might cut throats up front, and I thought a mile is stretching her a little bit, even though a class can carry her through. So I'm leaning towards horses like Put on the Red Light that really impressed me last time when trying over the mile again for the first time in a while. He won a really smart race. Another one to consider is Asterix. I was a little bit disappointed in his last start, but he's got much more ability than that. So that brings him into the race. They were my first 2 choices, the 1 and the 2, and Wisteria Walk for the placings. But it is another wide open race. We have gone the field in the pick 6, but the pace is going to be interesting because I know Orpheus likes to go, and 7 Patriots.
All right, Daryl, how do you see it?
Yeah, another pinnacle, Clyde. Unlike the previous race, this is certainly not void of pace. Yeah, we're going to have a cracking pace with Orpheus. He's going to string them along. And I don't like Wisteria Walk for that reason. She's going to be made to see out the trip, and she's suspect over a mile. So I think the betting's all wrong over here. For me, in my opinion, Kingsley's Heart will start favorite with the bookmakers, Clyde. I don't know what price he is now. I can't see on my
9 to 2.
screen. 9 to 2. I think the money will flood in for him. I think he's going to start favorite. You know, last time out, Clyde, that was also a conditions race. I don't know if you recall. And the 2 3-year-olds were well out at the weights. And Sound of Summer and Kingsley's Heart finished well clear of the balance of the field. The 2 3-year-olds on that occasion. And Kingsley's Heart is the only 3-year-old that lines up. On that occasion, I believe Kingsley's Heart, if Ryan Munger coming back, he probably thought maybe he could have gone a little bit quicker because he certainly was staying on in the latter stages. And yeah, with the hot pace on, I think it's certainly going to be in his favor. So for me, Kingsley's Heart is going to prove very, very hard to beat. He's another one that ran above his rating last time out. He actually comes in joint second best of year. So I'm not reading too much into the ratings with Wisteria Walk. I think she's vulnerable over a mile with a very quick pace. For me, the race lies with Kingsley's Heart, Put on the Red Light, and Asterix. Now, Asterix, I do believe has got a chance of reversing that form with Put on the Red Light because he had excuses in his last start, and he gets much stronger handling now in the irons with a 2 kg pull in the weights. So for me, I won't be surprised to see him reverse the form with Put on the Red Light. So I'm going to tip in Kingsley's Heart to beat Asterix.
Okay, 7 from 2 for you. Summarising that Kingsley's Heart has run above his rating, so go and look at the current rating, and on that basis, Daryl liking Kingsley's Heart to win the race. Okay, let's go on to the 8th race on the card now and have a look at the market where number 3, Believe in the Future. This is for you, Gav, for Johan van Vieren favourite. Even money, 1 Parker Jetrix, 28 to 10, 2 Joe Harmon, 4 to 1, 4 Jumeirah Gold, 4 to 1, and then there's 16 to 1 and better about the others. So, Gavin, I'll start with you here and talk to you about this horse, Believe in the Future, who you've partnered with just about in every one of his maiden runs, and he's still looking to crack the maiden. Is that a worry that he hasn't won the maiden yet? He's even money because the opposition seemed to be very thin.
Look, the opposition does look weak tomorrow. But in saying that, he's not a strong horse. You know, we thought a bit of him as a 2-year-old. He had such a beautiful action in him. He just never grew. His horse just never ever grew. He's quite a small horse, but he does have a neat action on him, I must say. I'm just hoping he improves. It is his 3rd run after rest, and so it should be his cherry ripe run. And I'm just hoping he can do it for the punters. Ability-wise is a big question mark, but if everything goes his way, he'll be the horse to beat.
Okay. Have you picked up a danger, Gav, by any chance? If there was something else in there that you were worried about, who are you mostly worried about in the race? Is there
Look,
anything?
I would say Stuart Pettigrew's horse, he's the only horse that I can see that could really improve. And the number one horse, I beat him 17 times. What did I beat him? I beat him 14 lengths.
Yeah.
In ultimate start, but then he ran a great third to Spartan Warriors. So,
okay.
I don't know.
So that it's an interesting race, Daryl. And we talk about a horse like Believe in the Future. Yes, he does look to win. You know, but when they hover about in their maidens, you want them to get out there, you think by now maybe he would have. But I think the point is it's not a strong field. And, you know, he's third on after the rest, as Gavin says. He's ready to win. What do you think?
Yeah, Clyde, this is a below average bunch of maidens over here. And when it comes to fields like this, a lot of it could rely on luck in running. And from his neat store gates, he should be perfectly positioned by Gav, and things should really go his way. And on form, you know, he holds Parker Getrix on his last start. He actually had Bremner Pass behind him on that occasion, who Bremner Pass beat Parker Getrix when they met last time at the Val. So he's got him held on 2 form lines. So for that reason, I'm in Gavin Lerena's camp that the Stuart Pettigrew run is his biggest danger. You know, Samanga Kamalo on that occasion got it very easy up front. And in my opinion, that margin flatters the winner on that occasion. So I do believe Stuart Pettigrew's horse is the one to play exactas with. But, you know, Believe in the Future is having his peak run. He should get the run of the race. And if he doesn't win tomorrow, he's going to certainly battle to win a maiden.
Yeah, we're in the middle of winter now. Now's your opportunity, if ever. Darren, are you on the same page? Are you also Believe in the Future?
Yes, this was actually my best bet on the card on the strength of his form. But he needs a bit of urging, this horse. In the beginning, in the early part of his races, he seems to fade right to the back of the field, a couple of lengths off the second last horse, and not travel. So I'm hoping Gavin can get him into the race early into a neat position and not be tailed off at the back of the field. And from there, I think he'll finish the race off well. From a good draw, I'm just hoping that he doesn't get stuck at the back of the field again, and he's got enough early pace to sit at least midfield. And I think he'll do the rest in the straight against a field of this nature.
Is he, Gavin, is he lazy, this horse? Is that what Darren's picking up?
You know, the thing is, he's a very weak horse. Like I said, he's a very small horse.
Okay.
He's not a horse that I can go out and say they got to beat me and pop him out and sit up second or take up the lead and expect him to finish the race, because he won't. So he's a horse that I've got to cuddle. I've got to take care of him until probably the 500, and then I can let him down and have a go. But
Okay.
I have to cuddle him around. Not saying that I'm going to be sitting last. I'd like to be about 3 lengths off them if I'm lucky. You know, it all depends on the pace. That Heart of Harlem could end up going very fast in front, and I might end up a little bit further back.
You talk about Heart of Harlem going 1800 from 1800 for the first time. I wonder if that's not a spook horse for trifectas, etc. Maybe keep it in the play. All right, well, that summarizes the 8th race. The 9th race, the final leg of the pick 6. Hopefully we're all running again, etc. Where number 1, Arizona Lady, Gavin's ride, is favourite. She's 22-10. 2, Crusade to Royalty, 28-10 is the second choice. 4, Lucky Shamrock is 3-1. 8, Rapid Charge is at 7-2. And number 5, Sky View, is at 10-1. I'll start with Darren now, just quickly. Darren, the 9th race, final leg of the pick 6, running in the last leg. What do we need?
We need the top 4 in the betting. As the betting suggests, 10-1 bar. But my first choice and my value bet on the card is Rapid Charge, number 8 on the card. She's a gimme the green light out of Congestion Charge. So I think that makes her a half-sister to Surcharge, if I'm not mistaken. But I was really impressed when she was stepped up to the 18 last time. She quickened up to them at the 300. It looked like she was going to go very close to winning, and then she was just caught out a bit one-paced. But on that form line, she had Cruise to Royalty ahead of her and Lucky Shamrock. only a length and a half ahead of her that day. And I believe only having a fourth run, I believe that she'll turn the tables on both of them. And then the other horse, Arizona Lady, she's been a beaten odds-on favorite, even in a work rider race, 3 starts back. She is very limited. So that's why I'm taking my chances with Rapid Charge. Hopefully with natural improvement, she can beat a field of this nature.
Okay. Daryl, your take on the 9th race?
Yeah, CLYDE, Rapid Charge, she's the 2-year-old. I think she's got the most scope for improvements out of all lining up tomorrow. But in saying that, she is held on form, but I'd like to get a little bit of a more patient ride and just be held up a little bit longer, because I think she caught the jock by surprise. She really turned it on well last time. I just want to ask Gavin, Arizona Lady, she's been very, very costly to follow, but I've had a look at her form, and possibly her better runs have come when she leads, when she's up front. Maybe she's more effective when she's up front, and I see that happening tomorrow. So she could get it quite easy up front and put some of her disappointing efforts behind her. But none of these are going to Hollywood. Luck in running is going to play a big part of here, but the 2-year-old does have the most scope for improvement. That healthy respect for Arizona Lady if she gets to the front and controls the pace.
Gavin, you can definitely win the race. I mean, I suppose Daryl asking the question, is it possible? Is she able to lead if she has to, and you want to set the pace?
I would like to lead this race. So she's had 2 runs now for Johan. She was with Gary and Dean. Her first run was a fair run, but I mean, Waltzing Al is weak. He is a weak horse. Yeah. And, you know, we took a bit of a liberty on her. We ran, I think it was 9 or 10 days later. We it looked like we had found another weak race, and we took a chance. But now she's had a couple of weeks off. I think she'll be better for it. I'm going to try to get the lead, but I did watch that horse last time, Rapid Charge. I didn't ride in the race, and the way she loomed up at the 300, I thought it was going to be race over. And she didn't seem to go on with it. But, you know, I'm not without a chance. She's very moderate, my filly, but I'm going to give her my best.
Could have a good day tomorrow. It sounds like you could very well have a good day. Okay, that's the 9th race and how it's wrapped up. As far as the bar pot is concerned, guys, this is the take on the bar pot. Here it is on the screen for you now. Banker 1 for 568 by 78 by 5 by 1256 by 127. That bar pot has worked out to 72 Rand. All right, that's on screen. Your pick 6. That's we've gone. You'll see that whilst quite a trip is a banker for a lot, the boys are covering up just in case as they wouldn't do normally. There is a banker in the 8th race, which is Gavin's ride. And then at the back, we've got a couple of horses. But they feel in the middle 2 races are your problem races. As far as that pick 6, by the way, for 108 Rand, you can get 10%. DARYN, over to you.
My best bet is going to be Believe in the Future. He's had plenty chances, but I'll be taking another chance with him tomorrow. I do believe that he'll drift slightly in the market race time. And then the value bet Rapid Charge in the back. I'm just hoping that she can make that natural improvement to win.
Okay. And then Daryl?
Yeah, CLYDE, as a punter, you have to take these opportunities when they come along, and quite a trip's well ahead of his handicap. The handicapper's hands have been tied, so you have to take advantage of this. He's ahead of his current mark. He'll take a lot of beating. And for me, if I have to look for a value bet on the card, I do believe Kingsley's Heart at 9-2 is worth a bet. I'd take the double into Kingsley's Heart. But for me, proper play on the day, quite a trip to come home lonely.
Professional punters taking the 7.5 to 10, maybe you get better. I thought I'd take a place all to come tomorrow. Race 4, number 2, Amalfi Coast. Race 6, number 1, Rio's Winter Place. Into race 7, number 6, Wisteria Walk. And I put those 2 in there because they're 16, 20 to 1 about Amalfi. So I'm sure we'll get decent value on the places. That place all on is the shrewdy bet of my play. Gavin, there's your write-up from your form studying. You want to take us through it?
Yeah, look, quite a trip. I just hope now he roughs all the punters. He looks like the right horse. He's well weighted, like Daryl pointed out. So hopefully I can bring him home for the guys. And then that horse, Pewter Sky, in race 2, ran a very good race first time out. It was an eye-catching run. I love the way that horse finished off the race. I think he's going to enjoy the mile. He's drawn 1. My only concern is he is returning to the track quite quickly, only 2 weeks later from his first run. But I think he's definitely got an each-way chance. The favourite does look hard to beat, Rain in Holland, but I think this horse will be finishing strongly.
Okay, Pewter Sky is a horse that Gavin's not riding, but nevertheless, the Fortune Stable in good form with Calvin Habib, and that's Gavin's value bet of the day, coming up in the second race. So that'll be great to look forward to see how this whole thing pans out. Don't forget, you join us on Friday nights, the team, that's when you watch us. And there's the team in terms of the way. I want to just show this one more time if I can, because this is the best. This is just, for me, is different division. I need to show it. Sorry, boys. I need to show it one. You don't mind if I show this again, eh, Gav?
Beautiful. I love it. He knows he's good.
Look at his eyes, man. Gee, how beautiful is that, eh? So he's going to. So you got to the Queen's Plate, Gav, and then you go to the Met. I mean, there are prep races before that, but I mean, ultimately that would be the plan, I'd imagine.
Yeah, so I'm sure you'd have the 3 starts. I think they start in that.
I think we've lost him, Clyde.
Okay, you'll come back hopefully.
Doesn't look like it. So I think we can call it an evening. Oh, there's Gav.
Are you back, Gav? Sorry, you were sorry, you got cut off. So you're saying we're saying Queen's Plate and Met. That would be the journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you haven't won a Met before, am I right? Just correct me if I don't recall it. You go from the July to the. So this is going to be a great season, hopefully.
Yeah, please God. He's back in Cape Town now.
Good.
Comin is back in Cape Town. He'll be at the stables for a week.
Yes.
And then he's going to a farm for a nice long rest. And yeah, I look forward to the journey again when he comes back.
Okay, but you don't. The fact that you're still on diet and it doesn't stop you from having a plate of kibbe on a Sunday. I mean, you're allowed to do that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm dying for a plate of kibbe. My aunt makes the best, but it's lockdown. I can't get to it.
Okay, well, I thought you were on the Sunday celebration. You would have Gavin's Lebanese, in case you don't know it. Whilst he comes from the Lerena legacy, we claim he's Lebanese through the Michael legacy. So he knows all about it. But the family's steeped in history. But thank you, Gavin, for your time again today. We really appreciate it. And well done. Be proud. Celebrate it. You know, these moments come and go. So enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Feeling very blessed and great to be on the show. Thank
you so much. Thanks, Daryl, and Darren. Thank you for your time as well, eh?
Thank you very much, Clyde.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. See you soon.
Thanks.